see he's actually on a leash in this lineup compared to all previous lineups.
Exactly.
What he said went, even when he wasn't like, you know, in charge of the lineup. He was just calling the pack from his own sort of mindset.
So we are going to be going into the first pistol of the second map here. Mirage between Epsilon and Method. Smina peeking towards mid. Jenko, the bad spawn as well. Face gets dinged up as well. This could be huge. He has to go towards CT now. Connector is weak right now.
Luckily enough, Pulse is in position. He's hunkered down towards Sandwich, and they have rotated over. Jenko has got into position quickly enough. Barbar gets spotted out as well, but Pulse can't quite connect the shots, just keeping him at bay at the very least. So they're trying to get these opening frags. They go 1-for-1 instantly. Smooya finds the opening frag, but Pulse retaliates. Smooya, another frag as well, though, dispatching him. Weber has arrived to try and aid the teammates, and it's looking good. They do slow down the push.
They do indeed. A 3 versus 2 now. One-man lead right now for Method. They have the kit as well into Nilzinho, but Jenko has low HP, still dinged up. Weber, he knows exactly where Freddie B is. He knows he's towards jungle. And as well, Smooth towards the site, has the bomb. He's planting from mid. No one from short or anything can peek him.
Oh, Freddie B can get back into position as well. This plant 4 short is so great for them. Smooth actually takes the fight towards CT, pulls out the bag, and the thing is, Nilzinho goes down, not Jenko. Jenko's the low one. He's now recovered the kit as well.
He has that kit once again. We saw the 1 versus 2 come up from him earlier, but this time he's on 16 HP. Weber towards, can I take his core gun, but somehow Freddie B will find that frag. Jenko knows exactly where Freddie B is, has to land the one-shot headshot. He's on 5 HP.
Jenko trying to take the fight, just has to do what he can. Time's ticking away. Not a lot of time left, has to force his hand, and Freddie B will overpower him. Such a close pistol.
The power from that ding towards mid, right? I said it will have a late impact into the round, and it does just that. Imagine he jiggle peeks out, spots them, falls back, maybe gets one shot, you know, hit like 11 damage from one bullet from the Glock or whatever, but falls back safely. He takes so much damage. He has to play scared and timid. He can't face towards the players crossing when he was CT spawn. And that allows Epsilon to get the bomb down to plant for Connector. And Freddie B having such a big advantage there in the after plant going towards Connector. Weber peeks out towards mid with the scout. Doesn't quite land anything just yet though.
That's the thing as well. Weber with the scout in his hands. Very effective, just roaming around. We're going to see him trying to get those early tags in, just making them quite squishy so they don't have much sustain left, so it's easier for Method to shut them down later into the round.
It is indeed. Full force buy as well. Weber, usually the AWP on Mirage, has not enough money if they lose this round to buy up the AWP into the first buy round, and already 2 players lost for the CT side.
This is getting awkward. Weber hasn't been able to find any tags as well. Everyone almost at full HP on that T side. Jenko, though, he's got a bit of confidence, tries to do some damage, and bites off way more than he can actually chew.
But now the scout tags up one player, goes for the second, actually lands the headshot there onto Smooya. The bomb is down towards Connector. They can retrieve it though, so only the 2 versus 3 here, but some of the players are low.
This is big though. Look, both players on 30 HP. The only one that isn't is Freddie B on 79. They have that CZ on Nilzinho. Neil up close and personal can be an absolute beast with a weapon.
No kit though, so they need to find the frags. 1 HP now, Freddie B. 30 on Maeve, 30 on Barbar as well. The scout is pretty much an AWP in the hands of Weber right now because they're on such low health. How is he still whipping these shots?
Very uncharacteristic, but this is the thing, an awful lot of damage has been done, but Epsilon do get the bomb planted. If they keep these players alive now as well and shut down Weber, that's a huge round for them. It will be a great showing. Just fake them together, even if you get 1 kill, they're always going to get the trade.
My goodness, they lined up there as well. Freddie B on 1 HP, there could have been a collateral scout shot there. Weber, the AWPer for Method on the CT side of Mirage, goes towards window, very good at making the Kenny S jump there towards short, or the JW jump. It's very important as well to land that jump or be able to, because you jump on short, on the railing, you can see above the smoke, you know if Epsilon are coming out top mid. If they smoke top mid to try and cover info, but there's no one there, you know they're stacked towards A or B, and it's going to be a contact or an execute.
Come around hitting with a fast play though. Smooya just wants to try and rack up an awful lot of cash. Try get some extra dosh so we can get the AWP out sooner rather than later. We'll find the 1 headshot on towards Weber. The AK comes in to punish Jenko and Stanley. Actually, Pulse does find a frag. He's in a good position. Nearly gets the double kill. It would have been manageable, potentially. Nilzinho as well scavenges the AK. Even if he just backs off now.
Exactly.
Not too bad of a round.
Why on earth is Cosmin jumping through that smoke versus the eco? Gives away $4,000, $5,000 worth of investment. Now Nilzinho has an AK towards B. Fairly undisciplined plays here from Epsilon. That's what we've really been seeing. I mean, I asked one of the players after the game what the next map was, right? Because I was a bit confused. I wasn't sure. I was told it was Nuke. I was told it was Mirage, whatever. I was like, is the next map Nuke? And Barbar goes, oh, sorry, Freddie B goes, I hope it's not Nuke. And what does that mean, right? They rely on the puggy style of play, right? They've banned Train.
Yeah.
They've banned Nuke. They prefer the looser style play. The problem is when you're playing versus a team that has a similar level of skill than you, which Method definitely does, you don't have that tactical depth to fall back on, right? When things don't go your way, what do you fall back to if it's not just headshots and opening kills from Smooth's AWP?
I think as well, it's got to be frustrating for Barbar. Because when you look at it, Nilzinho as well, so much more of a depth in his playbook, a lot more to work with. The team has a lot more strategy as well. Even though with Jenko coming freshly back into the lineup and they've had to adjust things slightly, they still have way more time spent together as a core than Epsilon have been able to get together.
They do indeed. So, heading to the first bar round now of the second map, Method at 0, Epsilon at 3 after winning the pistol. They have brought over this UMP onto Maeve. AWP on Smooya, no AWP on the CT side. Weber here towards Connector playing rather aggressively. Spamming that smoke towards top mid. Epsilon, they're playing slow and passive. They're playing the double underpass, two top mid, take control of middle, get towards Connector, try to get a window boost going as well, try and find an entry towards the A site. And if you can dent that CT defense, try and swarm the site with a man advantage.
Nades are going to be soaring through the air right now, tagging up players with a little bit of splash damage.
There's the window boost I was talking about. This is why you go for the double underpass play. Weber didn't quite see the foot there of Freddie B. Is his toe sticking out?
Depends if Weber has caught a whiff of the man that is up close and personal. It does rely quite heavily on whoever gets this opening frag. It will set the scene. Weber finds the headshot though, and he's getting information off the back of that.
So, first frag there, going in favor of the CT side. Weber without the AWP towards jungle, but the M4 does find that kill. Maeve somehow, some ways, lurked up short. Jenko not spotting it, but manages to understand that there could be people up short. Finds that frag, smoother the fast reply frag onto bench. Pulse dice while Barbar finds the entry. You'll see it towards Connector, doesn't find that kill onto Cosmine.
Ridiculous, you'd imagine he would have got it, but look how deep Barbar goes trying to gain CT control. Runs out with his knife out at that point. Surely he should have been aware there was a chance. So the thing is, a 2 versus 2 retake like this is manageable. They have utility, and Weber gets the opening frag, takes down Smooya. That's a critical kill. Look how low Cosmine is. He can only focus on one angle at once. He's so in the open, Stanley can just peek happily and kill him.
First buy right now, going in favor of Method. The M4's paying off. Let's take a look at the buy coming into the next one. Defuse will come in. No kit, actually. That's the thing I was going to mention, right? You're in a 2 versus 2. You have no kit. The problem was, obviously, Cosmine and 4 HP. What can you really do? You can try and play headshot angle on top of the double boxes, the triple boxes, sorry. Try and jump onto them, play that headshot angle, kill the player towards CT, and then try and fight the player that could be towards ramp, palace, connector, anywhere.
Look at that shot as well towards Smooya by ramp.
Precise.
Very juicy.
It was indeed. So, 3-1, buy coming out now. Is that an AWP? No, still going to be... Oh, sorry, yeah. No AWP on the T side, but now we are seeing the AWP onto Weber towards window. Flush comes in towards mid, peeks out, but it's smoked. He has no idea how many players right now there are towards middle. From Epsilon, he's already seen a window boost come out into play on the first buy round, so he's going to be anticipating that Epsilon are going for a heavy mid-control style of CS. But as I say, that 3 players in the bomb are slowly contacting towards B. The T's towards mid can smoke off connector. They can molly towards window, smoke window, get up short. Maeve probably gave the call at how easy it was to get up there.
So that is going to be the case. They push their way through. Freddie B has actually slipped on towards short, gets the opening headshot and the follow-up as well. That's the most devastating factor. There's no efficient trade there, so now they can just storm on, do whatever they like, and that rotate is going to be so cut off.
Such poor communication there between Jenko and Nilzinho. Pass does find that frag onto Maeve, but it's not quite enough as Epsilon take the second buy round. But communication, okay? If you're Jenko and you're the short player, you have to let Nilzinho know who's playing towards B-plat, or balcony, sorry, that they can peek you from short. He's not spotting it, which allowed Freddie B to come up short, find a very easy frag there onto Nilzinho. He wasn't even looking anywhere near him. Then obviously Jenko's alone versus 4 players on that B site, and he fell down with about 1 kill.
Yeah. Not great.
Wasn't indeed, and what's not great as well is going to be the money from Method. They are saving 3 guns here. Let's take a look. So 1,200 plus 2.6k. There it is on Pulse. He can drop over a FAMAS. Weber can throw over a UMP as well, but if they buy up into this one, the utility will be weak. We might not see any Molotovs. You know, if Nilzinho had better comms there with Jenko, if he was jump spotting, right, instead of just standing there on balcony, he could have saw the 3 players there. If he had a molly, Molotoved off, played further back, Jenko as well could have fell towards the site, and maybe we could have had another round there from Method, but instead they are at the cusp of being reset. 2 UMPs. If they lose this one, Epsilon will get to 5. They'll play versus the Force by Method, and then the Eco. We could be seeing a 1-7 a 1-6 scoreline on the T side already from Epsilon Esports. I mentioned in the preface before, Jackie, that it's a weak CT side from Method. They have to get it together.
They need to try it and lock some stuff down now. Get a few rounds in the bank to give him a buffer to play with. Stanley gets overwhelmed though. Smooya just thunders his way in, charging in like an absolute madman in towards CT. Will get that opening kill. Already they're at a deficit. Weber is trying to claw it back, hoping to just do something. They get the information that Freddie B has now taken CT control as well. But look at Maeve, just playing up close and personal, trying to keep him at bay. They're doing a very good job of at least slowing down this retake, so it takes so long into the round. Pulse will come into effect. Smooya overpowers Nilzinho though, and they're left with just one man standing actually. It's Maeve all of a sudden. They have chipped through. They found the chink in the armor. It wasn't going as great as it should have done, but they make it manageable. Maeve welcomes himself to the scoreboard, but Weber comes back in, shuts him down. He's got the kit as well, and I think he has this just in the nick of time.
Time is of the essence. This Method get the second round on the board. If they lost that, that could have spelled the end for them on their first half already on their CT side. Losing that, 1-6 scoreline potentially, and from there, Epsilon have nearly won the half. So, thankfully though, if you're a Method fan out there, they did take that second round. This might be a pause, I'm not quite too sure. Be interesting to see the buy that comes out. Okay, so, T-Side Forces one, you can see, 0 money if they lose this one. Method as well. On that 4 rifle setup, a FAMAS onto Nilzinho, Orb there onto Weber. Orb on Smooya this time, not Freddie B, that's a good sign. Nevertheless, though, another stack, another contact play where Epsilon group together towards a sector of the map, be it A, be it B. And what on earth is Cosmin doing again?
He's so low and so much confidence, but it's not going to work out. He takes one bullet from Nilzinho, but he plays off the angle and punishes Nilzinho. This is messy. Luckily enough, Jenko's there, and Jenko knows how to really be a showstopper. Pulse comes over to try and help him out a little bit, take the weight off his shoulders. Maeve just toying with the opposition, trying to play with his food, but he will be taken down. Smooya gets dinked down to 12 as well before he finds the frag. This retake is entirely possible. Oh, but look at the play from Freddie B. Has the rotate cut off. He's going to spot out. Weber takes him down. Now things get very awkward for Stanley. This retake's going to be so hard. Left on his lonesome, no kit as well.
They know exactly where he is. Freddie B will hold off the rotation there from Kitchen. He knows if Stanley tries to fall back. Timing not in the essence though, as Stanley does manage to stay alive just about. Flash comes in, but Freddie B dodges it, peeks out and finds that frag there onto Stan. Round lost there for Method. 2-5 will be your scoreline.
It's so awkward trying to take that fight as well there, obviously. A prime time position. All we had to do was hold his angle, and he won that 99% of the time.
Cosmin though, right? Did he not understand the call? I mean, when you are stacked together, and a Molotov comes in, maybe if it separates you, right? But someone calls push, or someone says wait, right?
Yeah.
And you all do the same thing together. You can't have 2 players pushing through a Molotov and 2 not. Instead, Cosmin goes alone and somehow manages to catch Nilzinho off guard and actually opens up that B site with a very audacious and incredibly risky play. This is the eco, though, from Method. There should be 6 rounds on the board here from Epsilon and a potential buy round as well, in the sense of you get a lot of cash. Barbar there with the UMP as well, $600 a frag. If he can find 2 kills, he's already made his money back on the UMP. And obviously, if you get the bomb down, win the round, that's an extra 3,500. You want 4 players alive, 5 players alive for this T side.
It's true. That's what you want to try and give yourself something to play with. And obviously coming into this round as well, positions being used by Method, they can trade for each other a little bit here. They do have a couple of crossfires set up, but it's still going to be an awkward round. Just play for distance, and Epsilon should pick this one up. Jenko could actually be the power play, though. He's in a nice angle, but they sniff him out instantly. And Cosmin looking like he's starting to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, we know of his potential there. With the 1 bullet accuracy he has, incredible aim there onto Cosmin. It's one of the reasons why he stood out. I've heard he's, potentially the best player in Romania. Been picked up to join this international lineup as well. Smooya, arguably the best player in the UK at the time when he was playing on Endpoint. But he hasn't really had the same level of his impact on Epsilon as he did on those UK lineups where he played so loosely, played so confident, playing his own game.
That's the thing, as soon as they've actually typed in a leash to him,
Exactly.
told him how to play more serious Counter-Strike, tried to slow it down, it's not working for him.
It could just be overthinking, right? If you're Smooya, when you played on those UK lineups, you played so freely, completely off of initiative, and maybe now that he has to play a bit more disciplined, he has that leash in him, as you mentioned, maybe it's caused him to overthink and think before he acts. I'm not quite too sure, but hopefully he figures things out ASAP. Molotov comes in towards connected to stop any mid-presence from the CT side, but that's a failed top mid-smoke. Weber could maybe take advantage of it.
Yeah, Weber just in position here with the Deagle. Absolutely filthy with a weapon at times. A lot of these players on Method are great in terms of their pistol skills. I mean, that transfers over to how dynamic they are as well when it comes to warping and just being very organic.
Yeah, Nilzinho Stanley is so good at that CZ. Weber as well, the Deagle, so strong with that. What's weird is this is another eco. So this is telling me Weber wants the AWP. Be interested to see what he wants to try to do with it. Maybe AWPing towards B. They know that Epsilon are liking the contact plays. Could try to take advantage of that. But you're giving Epsilon 2 ecos, which means 2 rounds where they can build their bank up. These players could have 8,000, 7,000 in the bank after this round, and they're going to be able to buy for potentially the rest of the half.
They're starting to make it work as well. Stanley got into the back line, finds that kill. Nilzinho does damage as well, but luckily enough, Epsilon were able to get those 2 trades back into their favor. Cosme only on 5 HP could be the difference maker, but if they carry on like this, still just getting these 1v1 fights, it's going to be easy for Epsilon. They will come out on top with a better arsenal, and it just all falls on Pulse here. CZ, he is proficient with a weapon, much like all of Method, as he strikes down upon Maeve. Has to find 2 more frags here. Going to be caught with his pants down, coming through the window, though, unfortunate for him.
A lot of pressure riding on this round. Method on their CT side of Eco. 2 rounds for this. Let's see. Strong utility. Potentially double up setup. We see Stanley likes to AWP towards B apps. Yeah, double up setup right there. So whether AWPing towards mid and Nilzinho, as I mentioned before, I reckon the AWP towards B apps could be detrimental to the T side of Epsilon. You get AWP there towards balcony, holds the line there above underpass, find a frag, fall back, but just hold the line. No top mid smoke, and actually just managed to catch Weber off guard. Smooya finds that kill, and another frag as well from Barbar. 2 men lost from the CT side already.
Oh no, Stanley gets in position, but he's a little bit late. He couldn't quite hunker down and set himself up to actually be effective, and they have to save. They've already lost this round.
I mentioned the preface, Weber's so good at making that jump towards short, and if you know that, if you're a team that knows that the opposition's AWPer likes to go for the mid jump towards short, don't smoke top mid, just flash, wide face, and spray him down. He has no cover, nothing protecting him versus the bullets of those AKs.
Because that's the thing, Weber is a very mechanically sound player. That's what he likes to do. Those more aggressive plays towards mid, we see that consistently. I mean, I don't think we've seen a game where he hasn't thrown it into the mix, at least as a standard sort of actual, strategy from Method.
It's a nice flick there from Nilzinho. Unfortunately for Method, no enemies really walking into his scope before the round was already over. 8-2 now, a 6-round deficit for Method to try and claw back from. 10-9, that's Pulse on the scoreline, and 12-4. Freddy B and Smooya leading the charge right now for for Epsilon on their T side. But Method, they're going to want 4 rounds here, 5 rounds at the end of this half. Even if it's a 10-5 scoreline, it's not really too uncommon that we see them. Usually, they are a lot weaker on that CT side. Let's have a think why. On the old lineup from FM, where they had Fry 1, it was Nilzinho. Oh, sorry. Was it? Yeah, it was Stanley and Nilzinho towards B. And Fry 1 was playing A, Weber towards window, and then obviously Pulse and Fry were on A. So bringing in Jenko, obviously you swapped out Fry 1 and Jenko. They play similar roles, that frag in power, that 25 kills a map sort of player. They brought in Jenko, and he's actually taken B short off of Stanley. And now Stanley's playing towards A. Maybe he's not used to, he's uncomfortable in that role, playing towards that A site, being that player that isn't the anchor, right? Pulse is the anchor of the A site. Stanley from B short, he's moved towards connector. And we've seen weakness from that connector side. Just in the previous round when they came towards mid, they found the frag towards Weber. They found an instant frag there onto Stanley towards connector, and they swarmed that A site, and it forced Nilzinho and Jenko to save after just, 30 seconds into the round.
Things as well, touching on that. I mean, Mirage is sort of one of these maps as well that is another sort of defined home point of one of the Method players in Stanley. He always used to perform incredibly well on this map. I mean, when we saw him actually come into fruition ages ago, I think it was that all-4 lineup where obviously they were playing easy skins at the time.
Yep.
That was where he really set himself as like a staple on Mirage.
That was years ago as well. Has about 5,700 hours in the game.
Yeah.
Used to spam play FLC all day, I remember that. Nowadays, I don't think he plays as many hours as he did once then. Ooh, that's a failed smoke there from number 6. Who's that? Barbar missing that smoke, and actually that might cause him just to not go. Barbar throwing the CT smoke as well. If there's an AWP, which there is, not having the CT smoke, that could have been detrimental. But luckily for them, though, Pulse here with the Deagle. Yes, he has good aim, but obviously trying to land a headshot with the Deagle versus the AWP is a very different affair.
You can see him panicking off the back of that as well. Completely throws a spanner into the works. They now have to reposition.
Talking about reposition, are they trying to reposition the CTs? Going for a double fake here. Throw an execute towards A, force a rotation, through the double execute, and you can see the bomb might try to go B short. This might be a B split here.
Nilzinho is on the AWP though. He's towards short. If he stations in and hunkers down, he will be quite a critical factor to actually ward them off. Meanwhile, over at the barn at A is going to be Maeve, who dives his way over, trying to show off his acrobatic skills, but he gets the opening frags. Cosmin as well shuts down Stanley.
Smooth towards B as well. If Nilzinho has the AWP and actually gets caught off guard, it's the battle of the AWPs towards the B site. Can he find the B site? Can he find the fragment to Nilzinho and eventually get the B site? No, he can't, because Smooya does fall, but Cosmin in the meantime will find the fragment to Pulse. Jenko the fast reply frag though.
Jenko retaliating there is absolutely huge. This is still a round they have a chance in at this point. This retake's going to be hard though. Nilzinho can't risk it actually going through window like that. It would have been shut down immediately.
They have a smoke, a Molotov, which has just been used towards ramp, but Barbar suspects the play. They know that they're towards CT. They have a smoke for the bomb. It's planted for connector. They have to anticipate the play towards jungle and connector here.
Going to get the smoke down so Jenko can try and jump on the bomb, cover him with the AWP. 4 seconds remaining, will be taken down to all falls on towards Nilzinho. Peeks out, but time is of the essence. Has to just go for the stick now as they are rattling off shots, but it is not meant to be. They will unfortunately lose the round.
2-9. There was obviously the eco around the AWP of Nilzinho, so not really the worst round that they can lose. They did take 3 guns out of the hands of the T's, but the bomb was planted. That's an extra $800 plus the round-winning bonus. Once you get the bomb down, it's $3,500. So extra money in the bank right now for Epsilon. And so far, yeah. So look, 6,000 across the board. There's 3 more rounds to be played here. They can almost buy up into every single remaining round. So much pressure now on the CT side of Method. Stanley close to the smoke. Doesn't quite see the toe yet.
Things as well, this is where those Method players excel. We see this constantly with Stanley and Pulse. They're always very effective at getting this opening frag on the ball, playing up close by the ramp smoke. It's going to be Nilzinho and co, though, to actually start things off with a little bit of a bang. Only 3 players remaining on the side of Epsilon, and they have to try and slow it down a little bit.
Fast aggression from both sides, 1 minute 20, and already 3 players out of the server, only 7 left. And a 1-man lead here for Method on their CT side. They need this round, they need to make this 9-6, 10-5 if they want a chance into the second round. If they lose this second pistol, it could all be over. Stanley needs to hold the line here.
Stanley, 2 angles to watch though, so he has to back off and try and play more of a defensive style. And he gets overpowered because of this, but Pulse is in position, finds one, and the second as well. Pulse being the catalyst into the round, it all falls on towards Maeve. With 55 seconds left on the clock, he has to go and get the bomb. Miles to run. Unlikely he's going to do anything now.
Remember though, the round loss bonus will be reset here for Method. Maeve, every single frag he finds will put someone to a UMP, put someone to a 5-7 CZ potentially. Even though this is looking unwinnable in a 1 versus 3, you can see they have kits, they have Molotov smokes. Economical damage could be the factor here that really comes back to favor Epsilon into round number 13.
Maeve going to go and go for the window play, as you said, just try and hunt them down, but Pulse, he's locked and loaded. No messing about as he finds a headshot back on towards Maeve here.
3 players alive, which means a potential 3 drops being possible. Obviously, only going to be needing to drop to 2 players. So full buy here from Method. They are at 3. Epsilon at 9. They can't afford the reset here to come in onto round 13. If they get reset here, Epsilon 10, Method are probably going to have to be forced to eco number round 14. Then around 15 go for a buy, but at that point, it could be 11-4.
Trying to take that early mid-control, just thundering their way through. Seems like it is going to be that play towards the B-bomb site, but Pulse in position close by connector here.
That was a team flash as well that came from the A site. Pulse blind, Stefan's the frag onto Freddy Beast. Jenko now to hold towards shot, but Cosmin finds Nilzinho once again.
Jenko playing underneath window here, close back. It is an angle where he can be so effective from, but you can see the paranoia. He knows that Maeve has short control, so his hand is forced. He couldn't do anything onto the T's that have now breached their way into the bomb site. And it gets worse and worse by the second. It all falls just on towards Stanley. Even though he's popping heads off, it's still going to be such a hard retake for the man. Molotov and 2 flashes, but he won't get a chance to even use them. Smoothie peeks out and slaps him down.
Reset now for Method. They might have to eco this one, allow Epsilon to get to 11, and then go for the buy onto that 15th round, and yeah. 2,000 across the board. They got 1.4k in the bank. This round, they're going to have 1,900 into the next one. If you have about $2,000, you are going to have 3,900 into the next buy round, which is enough for an M4 and Kevlar, or a UMP and some light utility. Not really the best. But yeah, the fact they've gone for a quasi-buy as well. Why would you buy armor on 2 players? Why not just give this one up, play for 11-4, and have an extra Molotov flashbangs? You see Epsilon grouping together, doing the executes, hold them off with the utility.
Stanley here. Always can be annoying when he sees that as he picks out and he goes for a double kill as well. This is huge for Stanley to kick this one off with an absolute bang. Keeping it going as well. The pistol's coming out on top. They rip their way through everyone. They only take 1 casualty in the form of Jenko. Swift round there.
5 players alive as well. It's unfortunate that this is the last round It's the dream when you win an eco. You have 2,000 in the bank, you win the round, you get an extra 3,000, you have 5,000 there. But unfortunately for them, at this late into the first half, it's not about money, it's about rounds. And Epsilon are 6 in the lead. Forced, though, onto an AK, sorry, 3 AKs, a UMP on Cosmine, and a Tech 9 there onto Maeve, the supported player for the Epsilon side. Method, though, AWP onto Weber and Nilzinho. Let's take a look at where those are at. They're going to be going for the bench boost towards B apps. We see Astralis pull this one out recently at the last major, I believe. Device, they're boosted up with Dupree towards that B site. And the other AWP onto Weber. Yeah, Weber, that is towards window. Going to be rotating that probably towards CT. You can go onto a ticket booth, you can hold ramp, and actually, you've already got Pulse there towards connector. But anyway, the execute comes in. This is a problem. Look, Stanley is alone on the A site. If the execute come in, he is isolated and alone. This is poor play here from Method.
This is very awkward. Stanley, it relies quite heavily on him as well to just try it and stay in a good angle. Will peek out, actually gets the opening frag back on towards Barber. But look, they're forcing the CTs to play around this, block off all their lines of sight. But the CTs are bending. They're not actually breaking. They've adapted fairly efficiently. And the Ts have to try and rotate off. They've gone for the around the world, getting themselves back out a connector. But the quick rotate comes in towards B. This puts an absolute spanner in the works. They have to slow it down now.
2 versus 4. Nilzinho with the AWP is low towards Kitchen. Freddy B here with the AK. His teammate Maeve just on a Tech 9 Molotov. They have a smoke and a flashbang. If they find the B site, they can smoke off Kitchen. Flash a teammate up short. Try and get that Tech 9 in towards CPL. There's a chance to win this, but there's so many factors that come into it. And Weber finds himself the second for the round with the AWP.
That's the thing. He had to come through. Freddy B had to get into the back line, find that opening kill. Then there was a chance Maeve got on site if they peek together and overpower Genko. Now, though, they could just play as a team. Meth would find the easy frag. They lock it down. It is going to be a 5-10 half. But still, more to be desired from Method there on their CT half.
Potentially. I mean, it's not really that uncommon that you do see a 5-10 scoreline on Method CT side. It is notoriously weak. It's their T side where they really do come to show, right? They need this pistol. I mean, what was it? Cobblestone, I believe it was a similar affair. Method were 10-5 up. They won that pistol. It was like 12-5, and eventually they managed to win that one in the end. So this second pistol could be very, very prevalent here.
Here's one of the things as well that we look at, sort of that we touched on before with Method. No matter how well you perform on your first half, you need to keep it going, because if you break or slow down even slightly, Nilzinho and Co are going to adapt to that and try and bring it back into their favor instantly.
Exactly that. I mean, Method on Cobblestone, they won both pistols, right? Epsilon winning the first pistol on their T side.
Yeah.
If they win both pistols here, and then obviously they secure the map, this goes 1-1, well, for the analysts, you could be saying, well, whichever team wins both pistols ends up taking the map, you know, fair level of play. Which does mean a lot of pressure rides on this pistol round now, 10-5. Method win this, win versus the Force, win versus the Eco, gets to the 8-10 scoreline. If they lose it, though, Epsilon, they could be a 12-5 advantage, a 13-5 advantage. It simply isn't good enough.
No, it needs to be more. They need to bring their A game. Let's see how it is going to go. Meth are going to jump straight into it here, Snods.
Weber there towards short, but already 3 CTs here towards B. Is that a decoy, actually? No, yeah. I've misread it. There's no one on the B site. Instead, they're all packed towards short.
Smooya, he's playing from short, though. He's going to try and do some damage. Peeks out, finds one frag, but he gets traded back into. Pulse goes for the double kill as well. Pulse doing a great job of staggering the retake that's coming out. Weber finds the kill towards Freddy B. Barber over 6 shot. Will trade it back instantly, though, as it is going to be a 2 versus 2 retake. Double smoke and a kit to play with.
Genko gets tagged up there through bench, but only for 9 damage. Low HP on both these CT players as Maeve does full. Barber on the 1 versus 2.
Let's see if they can take it down. They just need to play together. Snods, flashbang goes out. Nilzinho baits him in. They know where he is. Peek at the same time. Easy as you like, and they will shut it down.
Crucial pistol there, 1 for the T's. You can see Weber smiling, Genko as well. Morale is high because if they lost that, that could have spelled the end for themselves. Finally, though, Jack, we have a game on our hands. Pistols going 1-1. Now it's all down to who wins the buy rounds, who is efficient versus the ecos, who can build up their bank and allow themselves to continuously buy and apply pressure versus their opposition. 4-round deficit here for Method as well, as it is a 10-6 scoreline. Once again, we see Pulse buying the Galil. It seems to be a common theme here where there's UMPs, there's Mac 10s in the mix, but Pulse always buys that. Galil, he is the structure to these anti-ecos.
We actually see a lot of that with Method, interestingly enough. I don't know if it's cool from sort of Nilzinho trying to incorporate that, but they do prefer to have that range advantage rather than the additional cash bonus.
That is true. Maeve hit, tagged up to low HP. HE onto Barber, but Barber, obviously, I know he is towards that B site. No one really low on that Method side, and HG is only going to really do 50 damage maximum. So Jenko, if he took another bullet, maybe from that PT50, could have been a chance.
They are getting themselves in position, but underpass control is being taken. But you can see how slow Method are approaching this. Want Epsilon to burn through any utility, any edge they have into the round. They have the angle couple with Smooya as well. So they should find it, but Pulse actually lets it go, stops focusing towards it. No one looking at window. Smooya's able to peek because the smoke bloomed a little bit late. Now funneling through connector. It's an absolute choke point where they should be overwhelmed. Smooya close by for the response frags as well, but luckily enough, they begin to get the momentum back in that T-side favor. They lock it down now as they flood their way over to site. Freddy B, Deagle in hand. Can't quite connect the shots though, Snod. Struggling a little bit. Oh, but he lands a juicy one straight into the cranium of Nilzinho. Blows him out the server there. As it is going to be a 2 versus 2 retake, but nothing to aid them.
They have Kevlar, but they haven't able to pick up any of the T-side weaponry. Just a Deagle down to Freddy B. Cosmin as well, the PT50 Kevlar. Orb shot whiff there. Was that not? No, it's actually the Galil. Yeah. Cosmin, though, catches Weber off guard in a 2 versus 1, but the bomb might be too far ticked here, Jack.
It's true. It's a good plant as well for Stanley. If he gets his first frag on towards Freddy B, he can stay alive so easily. Freddy's going to have to push into him. They need to jump on the bomb now, but Freddy lands the shot!
Has he got it? No.
He doesn't have the kit.
It's fine, though. They've got the weaponry, right? The money is going to be low. Method, 0 players staying alive. They're going to get 3.5k into the bank. Let's see what that money looks like. Yeah. Pulse was at 150. Now it's at 3,600, so that's going to be no AK into this round. 0 players alive. Their money is low. Epsilon could go for the counter force by here. They've salvaged 2 rifles. They can maybe force up some Thanasis, some UMPs, and try battle versus the Galil potential Mac 10 buy.
That's the thing. One Galil on Cosmin, you just had the Scav and JK as well on Freddy B. Are they going to go around this, though?
Then again, though, why really take the risks? You're 3 rounds ahead. If you're to force this one and lose it, you could be seeing a 9-10, 10-10 scoreline. You might as well just let these guys have it. You have the 2 rifles. Try and find 2 or 3 kills. Don't allow Method's bank to build too far. But nevertheless, though, round number 18. 7-10 in favor of Epsilon. Weber here towards B. On Cobblestone, he's usually that B plat player. And on Mirage, tends to do the same towards this B side.
Cosmin here. Going to be a bit of a nuisance. An interesting angle to play from to actually try and hold them back. So they get the information early. He struggles. Normally you see consistently that under window angle because it's so easy, but luckily enough, his teammate in Freddy B will be able to pick him off. He was more of a distraction in this scenario. Leaves him in a 3 versus 3 early. They have tried to recover a weapon as well. I think it did drop off porch, so Barbar should be able to get an AK.
He should indeed. Bomb is in the open right now. The 2 rifles are still alive. Freddy B has Kevlar, so he needs to find the kill, and he wins it. Just Weber and Nilzinho now versus the 3 of Epsilon.
That's critical. Taking down Stanley there from short. They're now both coming in from the same choke point, and they have to funnel in together, Snods. This could be scary. 2 flashbangs in the smoke. The smoke will get bloomed as well, but this is it. They need to commit, essentially.
2 versus 3. Freddy B, the only one with Kevlar as well on the CT side. Smoother flashbang. They can play passive, don't face towards the T's. The bomb is down. Once they're exposed, Smooya can flash the site and they can peek together and try and take Method while they're white. While they're blind.
Realize they have to try and go for it now as well as the flashbang does come in. Will blind them temporarily. Weber actually gets into the back line. They do spot it in the end, but it's a little bit late. Freddy B is able to adjust and take him down. Nilzinho with 1 frag, hungry for more. 19 seconds left on the clock. Essentially has to get the kills. Where? Somehow Nilzinho pulls that out. Takes down Barber. A ridiculous frag he never should have got away with. Wasn't aware of Smooya's location though. Plays from Forest and lands the Deagle shot.
Such a big factor, the fact that Method had 0 alive when they won the round due to the bomb timer versus the eco of Epsilon. The fact they win the second round with the 2 rifles, the money just isn't there, Jack. They are broke, skint, and they're going to be forced to use all of what they have left into this buy. 5 Tech-9s across the board. No UMPs, light utility as well. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flashbangs. That's all they have. They could go for a fast swarm towards this B site. Go for the, as we call it in the UK, the sliggy. Where you go towards B, you do the contact play, you group together. Once you're close towards the smoke or you're close towards balcony, you flash out and you swarm the site and try and catch these CTs off guard while they're blind.
Sliggy, slightly different to the JKM, of course.
Of course.
Let's see how this play will actually boil down. They make their approach over, just going to go off back of contacts. They charge in, they overwhelm Maeve, which is good, but Cosmin playing under window. It's an effective angle, and he's able to get the frags as you'd expect, but they do punish him. Nilzinho coming in with the Tech-9. If they get the bomb plant here, at least they're getting that additional cash to give them something to fight for.
Additional cash here isn't enough, Jack. They need rounds. They've forced into this one. If they lose it, 12-7 could be the scoreline, but Nilzinho doesn't want that. He finds the kill onto Freddy B. We're in a 2 versus 2.
Headshot's critical, but Stanley isn't aware of Barbar's location, so it's an easy frag as he shuts him down. Nilzinho is covered from the rear, so he has to just watch towards L block and window. Be aware that Smooya is close by and try and take him down. They are just playing around a little bit. Now they peek out. Smooya able to rip through him with the AK. Close, but no cigar.
UKCSGO knows that's a big round to lose. 12-7. Method used everything they had into that buy. Tech9s weren't enough. I like the play.
Yeah.
Problem was, though, no smoke towards top mid meant that you had Freddie B on that fast rotation from middle, came there towards kitchen, found that frag to make it a 2 versus 3 from a 3, or was it 4 versus 3 at one point? Freddie B finds some kills with the AK as they cross the site, and that was enough to make it 12-7. So, we're going to be forced into this one once again, Jack. Round 20, 3 Tech9s this time, and 2, I was about to say 2 AKs. Unfortunately, it isn't quite that. A Galil, no utility again for UKCSGO. Stanley actually passing the AK over. If the CTs were close enough, they could have heard that. Some clumsy play here. Maybe the pressure's getting to them. They know how important this is. Surely they have to eco, but they're going to be 14-7 down.
Utility-wise as well, they've only got 2 smokes to play with. Smooya is up on the elevated angle as well. He's perched up by Ticket Booth. This is going to be awkward.
It is indeed. We should be blind here. If Method have bought into this round and are so careless they don't even flash as they execute towards the site, I'd be very unimpressed. Nevertheless, though, here it comes.
Getting themselves ready. They are going to go in dry. They don't use their utility. They charge straight out. Luckily enough, Smooya does miss the opener, but he gets the secondary frag. Barbar in position as well. Does what he needs to. Does his role perfectly, even though Stanley will punish him. Weber late on the rotate through as well, trying to get through connected to aid his teammates. Doesn't work out. They only have 1 man going down on the CT side.
It's not good enough. 7-13 now. Method winning the piss on their CT side, on their T side, sorry. They only got 2 rounds from it though, Jack. They got reset on that 3rd round. So 5 buy rounds won. But look at this careless play. I mean, no smokes. They have flashbangs. 3 players had flashbangs.
None of them.
Yeah, none of them were used at all. It was easy pickings there for the rifles and the AWP of the Epsilon side to clean up all of those Ts on that A site.
I get going for that contact play, but the thing is, they knew Smooya had the AWP out. You don't use the smokes. You know he's been consistently over there. It just seems messy. Deagle play coming out, though.
So, Cosmin towards B short, finds himself 3 frags versus the eco. Not going to be hyping this one up too much, as that is expected. As I said, though, 7-14 if they're to lose it. And here we are in the present. 22 frags here for Freddie B. Frags spread across the board for Epsilon.
Yeah.
Problem is, though, for Method right now, what do you call it for UKCSGO? You've gone for the contact play, it hasn't really worked. Haven't really seen too much mid control. I mean, usually when we cast Method, they take control of mid slowly. UKCSGO is usually with the AWP there, he holds towards window, he holds towards the short push. They get the star riflers, Jenko, your pulses, your Stanleys, in towards connector, in towards short, and they try and find entries with Angels. They're playing so scared and passive, grouping together towards the sites. And it's easy pickings here for Epsilon.
It just looks a bit muddled up, a bit messy for Method here. It's not the normal, slower, sort of sexy Counter-Strike we're used to be
Exactly.
honest.
So, cracks beginning to show. Epsilon taking advantage of every single moment of it. Jenko dies from top mid, just faces before the smoke has bloomed towards short. Is that miscommunication? As someone just said, I'm smoke short, I've smoked short, but he hasn't taken into account the fact that the smoke has time to land.
Maybe peeking before it bloomed, as you said.
Exactly.
Could be the only real reason that has actually occurred. Pulse does fire back. Barbar is going to fall, as they are left in a 4 versus 4. This is going to favor the Ts a little bit here. You can see the map control coming through, but look at this in the background, actually. Freddie B.
Smooya as well. Another frag for himself. He does take down Stanley. I mentioned that they need to get in towards connector and find entries towards the sites, but you can see how far up push Stanley was. There was no trade frag there onto Smooya, and Maeve now towards underpass. Doesn't get the frag, and this could potentially open up the B side for Method, but look how slow they are to react.
Timid. The thing is as well, Freddie B, he's been waiting so long. He now makes his play, but unfortunately it's just a tag on towards Pulse. They get that additional information. They can try and work out how they want to play this. They go for the window control as well. Now converging over back on towards the A bomb site. Molotov comes out. It's relying quite heavily on Freddie B here to actually try and hold them back. A little bit of utility comes out. He peeks through. UKCSGO seemed confused of his location. Pulse going to push on as well. Clears on the dock with a pre-fire, but Freddie B somehow does the unthinkable. Weber gets 1, gets 2. Hungry for the 3rd as well. Flashbang goes out, but it's going to be Smooya. 10 seconds. It needs to be now or never. Can still get the plant down, but he has to commit right now.
Bomb being planted. Smooya in the 1 versus 1. Does he know that Weber's low HP? He does. He pulls out the sidearm and lands the headshot through the box. Weber makes the right play. He's going for the headshot angle. He knows his low HP. He only wants to show his head.
Yeah.
But Smooya too precise there with the trigger. 15-7, match point here for Epsilon.
Epsilon looking kind of sloppy in some of these rounds, looking like the small cracks are starting to show, but it just seems that there's not enough of a buffer. Method can't quite get themselves back into their prime form, and it's just not working out when it comes down to those crunch situations.
Yeah, really isn't good enough right now from the T side of Method. No display of skill, no display of cohesion as well. You saw how fast Stanley was in front of Nilzinho and his teammates towards Connector. No trade frag there, found onto Smuya towards CT. And Smuya was able just to pick players off one by one. And already, the same something again into this potential final round as Freddie B finds the frag onto Pulse. 5 versus 4, 1 minute 35 on the clock, Jack, as we are in round 23.
Smuya, he's going to kick it off with a bit of a bang, takes down Weber. We also see the Pulse has fallen as well. Already only 3 players on the side of Method. It's looking a little bit messy. This could be the penultimate round where Epsilon shut it down. Nilzinho potentially could have got that frag and started to be the resurgence, but him losing out that duel really kind of sets the stage for how this one is going to go. Stanley will connect the headshot, but he's so low off the back of being tagged early from Connector. Even if he finds a frag on towards Maeve, it seems unmanageable. But Jenko's done a little bit of damage before he will fall back down.
Bomb dropped towards short. Freddie B and Barbar now. Barbar picking up the AWP. Even if Stanley didn't get killed there, obviously having the AWP on the A side, able to lock down that short position, wasn't really too much he could do there after Jenko lost the bomb towards B short. 1-1. Fairly one-sided affair both maps. Epsilon taking Mirage very comfortably, and the same goes for Method on Cobblestone.
This is now the second 1-1 we've seen for Epsilon. The first, of course, up against Reason Gaming last week. So it's interesting to see. Potentially, they are looking shaky. It's looking like they haven't really been able to buff all the issues out.